Welcome to Hardheaded Podcast. We're excited that you've joined us as we have a conversation. We found that a good conversation allows us to share what's on our mind, whether current events, what's grinding our gears, or our pet peeves.
It also allows us to share our top 3, a list of our favorite things on any given subject, most of which are highly opinionated. In closing, we share a good word. Solid friendships are encouraging. Even if we joke and give each other a hard time, our ultimate responsibility is to uplift each other.
Our goal is that you'll feel like you're part of the conversation, like you were in the studio with us, and that you feel encouraged after tuning in to our podcast. It's time to join the conversation.
All right, welcome back to another episode of... Already did that.
We've already kicked it, Chet.
I kicked it again.
Kick it to the curb. All right. I already said that too. I am Troy, 3-Shot Trussell. With me as always is Mr. Chet Sears and Mr. Matt Amos.
Thank you for all those comments on showing how wrong Matt was last week, by the way. Really appreciate all that.
Yeah, I really didn't see any of those.
Yeah, it was horrible.
You were too busy watching good movie franchises.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Broughton had something to say. Did he not?
Yes, as always.
He always chimes in.
Although I will
Especially
say...
on YouTube. He's a YouTube commenter.
Oh, is he? Well, I saw a couple weeks ago he posted about the Rocky franchise and specifically Rocky IV being one of the greatest movies ever.
In his feed, yeah.
And that was awesome. I completely 100% agree with that. I don't love many posts, and I told him that, but I love that post, and I just let him know that I love the post, but I just put the little like because I don't like to put the hearts.
You should put the heart.
I can't do that.
Why don't you like the heart?
I don't.
You can.
I just like
you
the
can do
like.
anything you put your mind to. All right.
Anyway, today we have a fantastic show for you.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic. Chet is going to end it with a good word. We are going to do the top 3 restaurant appetizers that we deem the best. And Matt, Mr. Amos, Sergeant Amos, is going to start us off with
Retired. Yep.
With what is on his mind. So tell us.
So what's on my mind this week is takers. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say takers?
People that just take.
People that just take.
Never give.
I don't know if it's because of social media being all about, me.
Hey, Matt, you be you. You be you, boo.
Or please don't use that word with me.
That's what all the hashtags say, man.
Boo.
You be you, boo.
Really?
I've heard it a lot.
I don't pay attention to hashtags.
Well, I've heard people say it too.
But I don't understand, I guess, where I'm just not built like that. But there's been a couple of situations recently with, various people. And it's like, oh, are you going to, I'll take that. Or, hey, are you going to eat that? Hey, I'll take that. Or, oh, are you going to, I've got my one, little bottle of sweet tea, that I'm going to keep with me for a week. That's all the access I have to sweet tea. Hey, I'm going to drink that sweet tea. Oh, can I have some? No, it's my sweet tea. I would share with you, right? But the audacity, hey, give me that sweet tea. And be sincere about me giving it to them.
Right.
No, I thought ahead. I prepared. I brought the sweet tea for me. It's my sweet tea. Now I'm making up the object of the situation, right? But it's happening. It's like happening more and more and more.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is. And it really grinds my gears. Like, it's bad to the point. Like, I don't even want to associate with those people anymore, because it's all about, oh, hey, do you got this? Or I heard about this. Can I get in on that? Or can I do this? And oh yeah, let me have that. No, stop,
right.
Stop. I don't know. That's what's been on my mind. And it's seriously irritating me.
The delight that you have in charity giving something to somebody comes from you being moved in a way that says, I'd like to provide X for whatever person.
Right.
The question of, will you give this to me, takes all of the feels out of you being charitable.
Right. Because then it almost seems like it's expected.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe that's that entitlement mentality. And I think that that's really the overall theme, or the overarching theme of what I'm thinking about, is just that entitlement syndrome that is so rampant.
It seems like there are fewer and fewer people that are appreciative of anything.
It's like that tip that shows up when they flip the screen around at you, and all they've done is asked.
We expect that you're going to give me extra money because, just
because
the other day,
I'm standing here working at a job that doesn't pay me well. I expect you to give me more money.
Just the other day, it was just one of those scenarios where I had no remorse about looking the person in the eye when I went,
no tip.
Oh, there was the new screens don't have a no tip. They have like 5%.
Didn't I say that this was going 10%, this way? Like
15%.
6 months ago.
Other.
And did you put
Zero?
No. I pushed other, and then on other, there was no tip or then enter amount. So you have to get to another screen to no tip. But I had to look down to make sure I was hitting the right buttons. But I wanted to just stare at the person's eyes when I was like, no tip. Because I don't mind. Most cases I'm going to give, low single digits, even, it's, what, if we're eating at like a Doc Greens or something like that, they actually made the salad right there and whatever else.
But they're not like service.
I got you. But I don't. I normally am like, oh, okay, 3%, 5%, whatever. And then, especially if you're just one or two people, because it's like that's not even. It comes up to maybe $2, whatever. But I can't even remember the circumstance other than it was like this whole process was not good, and you're not helping. All you're doing is standing there, and it wasn't pleasant. Other. No tip. Not getting it today. I'm sorry.
Well, kind of funny because I was in an event recently. Same kind of deal, right? All I wanted was a large Sprite, whatever, right? And so they go back and make the drink, whatever, come back. Not like they made the drink. I mean, they just, oh, here you go. So, I mean, that's what you're getting paid to do. It's not like you went above and beyond, and I asked for a fresh squeeze of lime, in there or something like that, here, let me give you an extra $1, squeeze some lime in there. It wasn't that, but I looked over and there was a tip jar, and on the tip jar it said, please tip. And in small letters underneath that, it said, let's not make this awkward. And I was like, awkward all day, baby. I'm not tipping that.
I love awkward.
I thrive on awkward. So I don't know, but it's super irritating to me when people just think that they're entitled to everything. It doesn't matter if it's theirs. It doesn't matter if it's yours. It doesn't matter whose it is. It's like all of a sudden, if it's in their vicinity, it's theirs.
Yeah.
To the point I've seen people take things out of other people's hand and be like, oh, that's mine now. Like, I'm pretty sure you just straight up stole that.
I've never seen that happen.
Or, you're already you've already been given something and then you ask for more. And it's like, do you not like right here? Like I just gave you this. Oh yeah, but can I have that too? No.
Or borrowing something. Like, hey, can I borrow this? And then it doesn't get back.
Oh, I'm just
I'm taking this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Like when you need it back, like, hey, can I have that back? They're like, I'll let you borrow it, but it's mine.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like, that actually has my name on it. Yeah, like,
I've seen that.
like why'd you put your name on my thing?
Yeah, why'd you
Like,
put your name on my my stuff? Like, no, it was mine.
Yeah, I kind of bought that and put my name on it and let you borrow it. That's not how I remember it. I'll let you borrow it though.
It just it kills me. I don't even know where I was going with this, but I'm just super irritated at people that just constantly want to take.
It's kind of weird that you're irritated. You're rarely irritated.
There's, but I'll be honest. There's very few things that actually do irritate me.
Yeah.
But they're all along that thread. I think they all kind of stem from it's all about me. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's where it all starts, because you look at somebody sitting at the table chewing with their mouth open and I have to listen to it, or they're chewing and talking and then, they got food, little particles coming out as they're talking. Or they wait to talk until they've got a bite. It's all about them. They don't care about me and my feelings, because if they don't know by now,
They're definitely not podcast listeners.
Right.
Or they know.
No, because this just isn't podcast life. I make it known up front. If you chew with your mouth open, I am plotting your murder right there.
Yes.
But if you're still going to do it,
Misophonia.
misophonia, then it's all about you. And I don't know. And I really think that that's kind of where we are on both sides of the political aisle. Actually, it's all about me. It's not about you. And I don't care to think about your views or anything, or try to see your side of it. All I care about is my side of it. And all I care about is me. And it's all about me. And what can I get and what can I take and what can I have? And,
I think that's one of the things that from a charity perspective, there are a lot of organizations that do a lot of good things for a lot of good people. But at the same time, you have the opportunity to do some damage with that, with changing the way that people perceive themselves and what they're owed. I know a lot of the mission work that I did in Haiti, when we initially started out going over there, we were give. And then we realized that they would associate white people with
getting
stuff, right? So all I got to do is get the right white person in my life, and then they're going to give me whatever I need to do, whatever. And then, so there wasn't change at all. Like it was, I just need the people to show up. And when they show up, I ask for this, I get this. And then I wait till somebody else shows up again and I ask for it and I get whatever else I'm asking for. And then it's just a cycle of dependency. But then we realized, we got to go in a different direction, saw some people that were going in a different direction and started helping them. It's like, oh, we'll give you an opportunity to earn something, right? And to put some equity in this, if you go and you do these things right here, then we will help pay for your school. If you go and make something, we'll buy it from you, even if it's not that great of a thing. But if you put some effort into something, we'll buy that from you. And then getting plugged in with Habitat for Humanity. Like they don't give houses away. Like they have zero, they have basically mortgaged without finances on top of that. We're going to give you a low price on a house and give you a financing that's going to have very low interest rates. So create that affordability. In order for you to get that, you have to put in so many hours of what we call sweat equity. Like you're going to earn your way into getting this deal, as opposed to us give anybody anything. And that, if you continually give, then there starts to be a cycle of, okay, well, this ought to be mine. Heck, my kids, and washing dishes and cooking and doing laundry. Like it's a big deal. Like when I tell them they have to wash their own clothes. Like, what do you mean? I've lived my whole life and somebody else does it for me. You're like, no, you're actually going to have to do that yourself now. It's the end of the world.
Yep. That's about to happen with our 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the, a fun one was, school just started up a couple weeks ago. And our kids take their lunch to school. We have a rule. When you come home from school, you empty out your lunchbox. It's not a box anymore. It's a insulated whatever.
We have the same rule.
And so throw the trash away. We put the spoons in the dishwasher, whatever. One of our kids decided or forgot on the last day of school.
Oh, gross.
Back in the spring. And so it was like, hey, we're going to school starting tomorrow. Go get your lunchbox. That was nasty. I mean, monumental grossness. And my wife,
Epic failure.
My wife was like, get to cleaning. Like, we're not throwing this thing away. You're cleaning that up and you're using it because you didn't follow the rules. You know,
It's probably going to have a funk for.
oh no, it got thrown away, but it was thrown away clean. The odor never left it.
I was going to say it would
She
have.
still had to clean it, but it was
that,
like
that
yeah.
odor would eventually go away, but it's going to take a few weeks.
Oh, it was. Ashley said it was still making her gag, so she didn't feel.
That's perfect. That's the perfect reminder when you open up your lunch and you'll never do it again.
Oh man.
Well, I have a friend that when his kids were younger, they would go through the drive-through as a family, and he and his wife would just get ice cream, and they'd going down the road,
Eat in front of their kids.
Yeah, and his kids would be like, "Oh, why do we get ice cream?" He would, stop the car, turn around. You're not entitled to this ice cream. Like, what did you do that gives you the right to have ice cream whenever you want it? I'm like, oh no, Dad. Well, you're not entitled to it, so you don't get it.
Yeah.
You have to earn things in this family. Like, he gave a good lesson on entitlement. I love it. I try to do that with my family, and I get voted down.
There's a mutiny. There's more of them than you.
Right.
We don't get ice cream. Get the knives.
Well, my friend had 4. Now he has 5. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
You can do it.
yeah.
It can be done. But I don't know. There are so many, even whether it's organizations or if you're talking people, whatever, there's so many good people out there that want to do stuff for people and just don't take advantage of it. And it's not like your stuff don't stink. You know what I mean? It's not like you're the greatest thing to ever bless this planet and now all of a sudden you deserve all this stuff. No, you don't deserve any of it. Be grateful for what you get, and I guess that's where the annoyance for me comes from is just now we're getting into ungratefulness, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's stemming from there, right?
yeah, I mean, it's all connected for sure, but it's just like, good night. I can't fathom that. And having seen it multiple times, it's just like, what in the world is going
Right.
on? Like how did we get to this point?
Right.
And speaking of, and I won't mention any names or anything like that, but I heard somebody say, when they were getting their ticket booked to somewhere, an organization was paying for this ticket, and they're like, "Well, I'm typically accustomed to flying first class." What?
It takes sometimes riding in coach to appreciate first class that much more. So we're going to give you the opportunity to appreciate
I'm going to
first class.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to grow
Yeah.
as a person and ride back there. Speaking of another annoyance, so you've spoke on this before, but dogs at airports.
Yeah.
Dude, Alaska, terrible.
Dogs everywhere?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
So I was going to check in my bags and this I don't know, my flight was at like 2:00 in the morning, and I was like, well, I don't want to have to go back, or I don't want to go to the airport and then have to check my bags. I was like, we're here early. I'm just going to go ahead and check my bags, and I'll go back and chill with you guys until my flight. And so I go there. Well, I found out that you can't check your bags in until 4 hours prior to your flight. So I sat around for about 45 minutes just waiting for it to click.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then that let me check in my bags. But before that, I didn't know that. I stood in the line and waited. And while I'm standing in this line, there were probably 10 at least dogs in this line. And, some of them were, most of these were, they had cages and they're going to put them on in the checked luggage or whatever.
belly.
But they had these dogs on leashes, and there was this one dog that was behind me that was barking at every dog that came by.
Yeah.
And I about just stabbed this dog. I was like, if my knife had not been in my checked luggage, that dog would have been dead. But it was insane.
Yeah.
I almost couldn't handle it. But I'm glad that I sat through all that for about 45 minutes. Or I'm sorry, no, at least 40 minutes in that line to get up there to find out, we can't check your bags in until 4 hours prior. And I was like, that's like 10 minutes from now, bro. Like, I've been in this line with these stupid dogs.
Yeah.
They tell me, no, can I at least get my boarding passes? Okay. So I got my boarding passes. Then I could scan those to check my bags or whatever. But
I was recently in business class on a flight. Long flight. No, but I normally don't ride.
Maybe Chet was the guy.
I get to rub elbows with some.
Typically used to flying in business class.
But I got to
room.
I got to be in there with some ungrateful people. Like, you're messing with the different. I was mingling with a different class of people that I normally get to be around, and it's unpleasant in some cases. In other cases, people are shocked. Like, there's this lady that was probably like 5'2", probably weighed like 90 pounds, and she had the massive carry-on that was probably too big to be a carry-on kind of thing. And she's just like looking up, and this is a big plane, right? So they actually had like a step built into the wall of your little seat area where you could step up to get to the luggage thing up top. I didn't need that, of course, but she was like looking like, I don't, and I just stood up and said, let me get that for you. And she's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Just blown away that anybody would go out of their way to help somebody. Well, then, my little 19-inch TV, 19-inch
business class. I
yeah,
had
the headsets that were kind of like this. It wasn't working for me, and I could kind of like hear that something's it's buzzing, but it's not, the audio in there. And I'm like, well, look, I'm 9 hours. I need something. I can't just sit here and I can't sleep that long, So when the flight attendant had a moment, passing by, I said, hey, excuse me, if you don't mind, these headphones are not working. And he said, let me get you another set, but that may not be the issue, but we'll try that first. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Next thing you know, he comes back with another set, plug those in. He's like, did they work? And I said, no, they didn't work. He said, well, I'm going to have to reboot the system. I'm like, oh. And he said, it'd take 5 minutes. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Well, he goes up and shuts down the whole row. Like, the reboot meant all the seats that I'm sitting next to you on the window are going down. And people got like upset. Like, why my TV? What about my TV? They're going, these people, and he's like, hold on just 1 second. I had to reboot the system. Well, I was in the middle, they're freaking out. And I'm thinking, I was just about to go like 9 hours without being able to listen to what was on the TV screen in front of me. And I felt bad about asking for some help. And then these people go for 30 seconds without their TV show, and they're freaking out. Like, I don't know if anyway, we landed, and I automatically popped up and got that suitcase down for that lady. Well, her husband was sitting on the other side of the airplane, and which has been hard for him to get over there. And she mentioned something. She's like, there's the nicest guy over here on the airplane. Helped me out with everything I needed. It made this flight so pleasant. She wasn't even talking to me. She was just talking about me to somebody else. I'm like, that's what coach people do, lady.
We help each other out.
Spreading that joy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But I will say, traveling wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Well, good.
I didn't have any delays, thankfully, on the commercial flights. And, I was pleasantly surprised not to have to wear a mask. Sit there in my seat, chilling, and on my flight out, I didn't have anybody in the middle seats, so I had room. And then when I flew back, I upgraded when I flew back to first, and then that got all messed up. And so my first flight to Seattle was coach, but there's nobody in the middle seat, and I was like, oh, this is nice. Mm-hmm. And then my last leg flying into Wichita was first, and slept the whole way. That was nice.
I got a trip coming up I'm not looking forward to.
Where are you going?
India, Mumbai. And I've got way too many stops. Something's going to go wrong.
Yep. Probably. So explain this to me. What is the difference? Because I hesitate to say this after making fun of you, but I'm flying business class to New Zealand. So
I almost spit my water out.
But how is that different than, like, say, first?
There isn't a first class on international flights. It's all business.
So it's just business.
Now. Yeah. So
I might have my little cubby with the bed.
You'll have a cubby. What you're sitting in will fold all the way flat.
Boy, I'm about to get fancy.
You will not have a problem with leg room whatsoever.
I like that.
I do still, even when the fold flat. It's not designed for people of my height. But yeah, TV, full entertainment deal. You'll have a remote, more than likely.
Bam.
It's a touchscreen deal, but you'll still be able to. If you're laying back, you can't reach the screen.
Oh man!
And then you get to pick your meal, like what meal you want to have. They typically have like a little snack cart in the galley. So if you're just hungry and you need to get up and
just get up and go grab it.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, I just still laughing about you made fun of him. And now you're getting like the whole rundown of what you're about to experience.
So I've never flown business on an international flight.
I've never flown international, period.
So
you've been to Mexico.
Not in a plane.
What?
Oh, Cancun, that doesn't count.
That's a different nation, and you didn't swim there.
That doesn't count.
All right.
See, but all my international flights,
you haven't been transcontinental.
Okay, there you go. If you want to get Pacific about it.
Little play on words.
Yes.
Yeah, you like that?
Sounded like an idiot.
It was a play on words.
Yeah.
But
he emphasized.
So I did get the
he knew what he was doing.
I did get the first class treatment flying coach on most of my flights. I just didn't have the room. So it was the same thing. Like they would come by and they'd ask you what you want for dinner. And then you get to, chicken or beef or
call you Mr. Amos.
No, at the time they were calling me Sergeant, but, or Lance Corporal or Corporal, whatever.
Yeah.
But same thing, and it was like stand up during the flight and just kind of hang out,
What was the meal they had on the airplane that made them all sick on the movie?
Oh, I can't remember.
Was it tuna or something? I'll have what he's having.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
They look
That's
over,
a
it's a skeleton. Oh, God. Don't get that. Oh, man. That's a good one.
Anyway, long way around. That's what's been on my mind.
Sweet. Well,
takers.
Let's take a quick break. I'm going to take a break right now.
You would.
And jump into the top 3.
At Admiral's Pennant, our mission is to offer the latest and refined, high-quality masculine products and services to the modern gentleman, as well as provide him with the tools and products necessary to look, act, and feel confident in his appearance and social interactions. Check it out at admiralspennant.com. Without it, you might as well shave.
All right, we are back. Top 3 restaurant appetizers. I'm really interested to hear what y'all have to say. Chet, why don't you lead us off?
Number 3, lettuce wraps.
You sounded sad about that. Number 3.
I would have sounded sadder about lettuce wraps.
Lettuce wraps.
I like lettuce wraps.
Lettuce wraps are a good appetizer.
First time I ever had them was at P.F. Chang's.
Yeah.
They make a good one.
They make a good lettuce wrap at Little Saigon.
Oh, I'll have
that
to.
That would be why I haven't heard about
that.
too much of this stuff, because I don't eat at too many of those places. So what exactly is a lettuce wrap?
So you've got this concoction of meat and, like you get chicken,
Onions
celeries, water chestnuts, and onions, and a few in a sauce, like cooked up, and it's all almost minced, like small,
Right.
and then
Finely chopped.
big pieces of iceberg lettuce.
Yep.
And you have a stack of those, and then then you have this bowl of all this stuff. And then so everybody, it's a shareable appetizer. You get a lettuce, you put it on your plate, and then you take a spoon and you put that stuff in there, and then you wrap up the lettuce around that thing, and
I gotcha. Okay.
it's good.
You can also use romaine.
Yeah, you could.
I think most people do.
I think
romaine.
I think I'm in on.
I think it's romaine.
I don't believe it is,
Okay.
because it's not. The romaine has the big spine on it.
Yeah. Not towards the end though. Anyway.
It's darker green towards the end
Yeah.
of romaine, and these aren't dark green.
Sometimes.
You don't even know what we're talking about.
I know lettuce.
Yeah, whatever. Shh.
What are you
Number
Oh yeah.
Number 2, and this one was one that Troy will agree with as well. Number 2, deviled eggs.
Yes.
If you ever see deviled eggs on an appetizer menu at a restaurant, do it. Because they're not just plain. They're good.
And they're easy to make at home.
That's
I do like some deviled eggs. My daughter's got some pretty good recipes.
Yeah.
number 1, fried pickles.
I can take them or leave them. That's what's your top 3, Chet.
Is that fried pickled cucumbers?
Yes, fried pickled cucumbers.
Yes.
A good.
That's good.
It's hard to beat a good fried pickle.
I like them.
This is good to beat it. It's hard to beat a good fried pickle. It's too greasy. You got to cook them right. But
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Right.
That's my 3.
Matt, what you got?
Number 3, fried green beans. Again, they
Like
got
battered and fried?
Yeah. So
Okay,
they've got to be done right. So they're just like fried pickles, except they're fried green beans. And they do this at Stearman really well. And that was the first place I'd ever had them. I was like, whoa, they fry other vegetables besides the pickles?
How about okra? That's more of a side. It's not really.
Yeah, it's not really an appetizer. The fried green beans are an appetizer. And you dip it into that good ranch. Oh, so good. Number 2, chips and salsa. I don't care if you're an Asian restaurant. I don't care if you're a burger joint, Mexican joint, chips and salsa.
I'm gonna almost agree with you there that deserves a number 2 spot. I'm not gonna completely agree with you, Matt, but almost real close.
All right. And I mean, I've said before that chips and salsa are my thing. That's like my favorite snack, appetite. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
And then number 1, Diablo breadsticks.
Diablo.
From Moose's Tooth in Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh, gosh.
Okay.
So, number 1, their pizza, so they say on the sign, is the number 3 pizza in the United States.
It also says that on the sign, I bet.
Pause. P.F. Chang's lettuce wrap recipe. Garlic, chicken, whatever. There's mushrooms in it, by the way. 4 to 5 leaves of iceberg lettuce.
Well, I wasn't saying P.F. Chang's. I'm saying.
But you could use any lettuce, but I'm just telling you the people that do it do iceberg.
Okay.
At restaurants. If you want to do it with romaine, go do it with romaine. I'm not stopping you. But what I'm talking about and what I'm picturing in my head and what I've ordered and had
is
at
iceberg.
multiple restaurants, iceberg lettuce. I apologize. Carry on.
I'm glad we clarified that. But so anyway, they've got some really good pizza, and every time I've been up there, the wait to even sit down is at least 2.5, 3 hours. That's how long, like that's how popular this.
Or that may be how few restaurants they have.
No, there's quite a few restaurants there.
It's a multivariate analysis, Matt.
No, there's lots of.
Speaking of spicy and Diablo, I went to Italy a while back, a couple months ago. And when I mentioned that I was going to Italy, somebody in my life, I don't know who it was, it may have been one of you two, I'm not sure, said that I needed to get somebody in Italy to say, "That's a spicy meatball." Was that one of you guys?
Probably.
I don't recall.
Okay.
I say a lot of things.
I almost got it. It's so spicy, but I didn't get meatball.
Oh, you didn't get them. I think it was me that said that because there's a movie he talks about a spicy meatball and he's talking about a turd.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
No, but the meatball wasn't in the scenario, but there was a pizza that had like devil in Italian. I could tell that much. It's not quite Diablo. And I'm like, what else is on this? Because I don't want to get black olives.
Ever.
No, never. And he said something about the pepperoni or whatever. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, no, it's so spicy. And he did his hand just like that. And then I was like, who told me to get him to say spicy meatball while I was here? So Troy, I got it really close.
Almost got it. That's awesome.
You're close.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Diablo breadsticks.
And by the way,
That
Italian
was too-
spicy is not spicy.
I
Wasn't
would-
spicy at all.
I wouldn't say that it was.
Yeah.
But they have like it's like a normal cheese stick
Mhm.
type of thing, right? And then they put some fresh crushed red pepper over the top. But their dipping sauce is like a spicy.
You got to cup your hand and put all your fingers together.
Spicy chipotle, and it is phenomenal. Like I can go to that restaurant and I can just
Is that what you order when you go?
I can forego pizza altogether and simply order that.
Mm-hmm.
But it is an appetizer. It's super good, which I think there's probably still some in a fridge in a room in hotel somewhere.
You forget it?
I did. But their pizza's phenomenal too. But those breadsticks as starters are
Yeah.
so. I tell everybody about them. Nobody's been let down so far unless they are lactose intolerant.
Mm.
And then they will be poopy because there's a lot of cheese.
All right.
Thanks for we didn't understand that unless they're lactose intolerant comment. Thank you for taking that across the goal line so we know exactly what you're talking
I gotta
about.
let you know because here's the thing. So
No, we're good. We're good.
here's what I'm gonna tell you. So
I'm okay, man.
One of the warriors on this trip, I won't say his name, claims to be lactose intolerant. Okay, so I let everybody know. I was like, hey, this warrior's lactose intolerant. Let's not so no milk, dairy, anything like that. No butter or whatever. So, we're eating dinner one night and everything's prepared specifically. So there's nothing that's going to irritate his lacti or whatever.
Yeah.
And which I get, because gluten bothered me for a while and it's slowly going away to where it's not bothering me as much. But he sits down, and then for dessert, it was like, oh, okay, so everybody else is getting like ice cream and a hot fudge brownie with hot fudge all over the top, and it's like, oh man, this is awesome, And then they bring him something else, and he's like, oh, can I just get a bowl of ice cream?
What?
I'm sitting there and ice cream has lactose. It's got milk. He goes, well, some things are just worth it. So it doesn't bother me all the time. And I'm like, so you're more of a part-time lactose intolerance. Like it's more of a preference, not an actual ailment.
Right.
It's just kind of funny because I was like,
and if that's the case, then don't check it on the box. Just eat around the lactose that comes in your life on this trip. But if you're gonna alter the plans of the menu for a whole trip,
did this just happen at this recent trip?
Yeah,
it happened at last year's trip too. Because I swear you've told the same story.
No, so the other one was I made my mom's Mexican chicken casserole recipe.
Yeah,
and my buddy says, I was like, dude, I can make something else, for you. And he's like, oh no, I'm going to eat that. He goes,
that's right.
Cause he looked at it, he goes, it's worth it. I'll pay for it, but it'll be worth it. But he's legit, and then he tells me that, cause he's a black dude, and he's like, yeah, he goes, most black people are lactose intolerant, or, large majority of them are lactose intolerant. I was like, man, nah, you're messing with me. And then, so now anytime I see a video on, whatever, Facebook or Instagram, whatever, of some black dude talking about lactose intolerance, I send it to him. I go, dude,
Yeah.
here's another one. He goes, I told you, man, I wasn't lying. But it was just kind of funny that, the cheese at lunch on the sandwich, we forgot to take the cheese off, or a little sliver of cheese, got most of it off. But, there's cheese on this. And then at dinner, I'll have some ice cream. Like, what? Just kind of funny.
All right, Troy.
Number 3, miso soup.
Miso.
Nope.
I like it.
There should be nothing on any top 3 on this podcast that has tofu in it. Nothing. There's no reason for this.
I like miso soup.
Nope.
It's my top 3, not yours, Chet.
Dude, you can't like tofu. It's pressed soy curd. That's what tofu is.
It's not even the tofu that I like. I take the tofu out of it. I'll still eat it.
Then you don't like it. Then you don't like the soup.
Miso soup is not about the tofu. It's like an additive to it that they just throw in there.
Dude, I'm telling you.
No,
I've had miso without tofu in it.
You're pointing at me. What were you going to say?
I've tried miso. He hasn't watched those franchise movies.
I've tried
Miso stays.
I've tried it enough to know that I don't like it.
In my criticism of you, I do not want you to think that you were nearly as wrong as he was on his overrated.
I like how we brought that back around.
I apologize if I came across making you think you were as bad as he was.
But I will say that I didn't think about that, because the Thai place that I go to, Thai Traditions, has a starter soup. I think it's hot and sour?
Mm-hmm.
Hot and sour soup. I do love that. That is
hot and sour soup.
That is
good.
super good.
So miso doesn't have to have tofu. I'm okay with that.
Man, I forgot another one. Crap. Honorable mention.
Okay. Crab Rangoon coming up.
Crab Rangoon is good. It's not. Yeah, I didn't think of that one either. That's good. Number 2, pizza rolls.
As an appetizer?
Yeah.
From where?
It's served as an appetizer at Sangrano's.
Oh, I guess they're sold as an appetizer at what's that other place?
Old Chicago?
No.
Well, it's been years since I've been in Old Chicago.
I haven't been in Old Chicago.
I'm not
forever.
a huge fan of Old Chicago.
I haven't been there since I did the World Beer Tour.
Ages ago.
Pizza rolls?
Yeah, they serve them at Sangrano, which is Social Tap.
I've never heard of Sangrano.
It's Social Tap.
I've never heard of that either.
Well, you should have, because I've told you about it.
What's that place just down from
it's on WSU campus.
The office that you used to work at?
Social Tap's got Sangrano and Wheatley's inside of it, 2 restaurants.
They have Torchies. They have a Torchies at WSU.
It's other north side of campus.
Yeah.
They also have a Fuzzy's.
Fuzzy's is what I meant.
Yeah, it's right next door to Fuzzy's.
Yeah, that's north side of campus.
Yeah.
So what's that pizza place just down the way from the office you used to work at?
I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe my mind just turned off.
I'm drawing a blank on it. I can picture it. It's like a red brick.
I've worked at
Pizza Hut.
No, it's not Pizza Hut.
Papa
I've worked
John's.
with you, and at the place I worked at before that.
Yeah, the place you worked with me.
Broadway. Oh, the place I worked with you.
Yeah, just down the street.
Wichita Brewing Company.
There you go.
Yeah.
They have pizza rolls for appetizers.
Oh, okay. All right. That's just not.
They have
high on my
the
list.
Cajun pizza roll. It's got the sausage.
You're
and stuff.
right. Okay.
So I get it. I did.
To me. So like some mozzarella and a pepperoni in there, and you dip it in the marinara sauce.
Yeah, marinara, ranch.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
That's what I was relating it to anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sangrano, it comes in a bowl with 9, and they're on marinara, and I sprinkle Parmesan cheese all over it.
Don't
Party
sauce
foul.
my meat. Don't sauce my.
No appetizer should be an odd number.
Don't sauce my roll.
No, I'm serious. Appetizers should come in even numbers.
Why?
Because you're never going to have
a majority of the people.
Well, I guess if you have 3 people, you would have 3 each if you had 9. But
Well,
Yeah, but 3 people, somebody's a third wheel.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
You don't want to cater
but
to third wheel.
But that's they're catering to the third wheel,
You
so they
shouldn't
don't
cater
feel
to
as
the
third
third wheel.
wheelish.
the taker is always going to get that extra one anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to take more than just their 3.
The appetizer for a taker, the appetizer comes down. What you guys getting?
Oh yeah, this is mine.
That's all mine.
Oh, you guys didn't order anything?
Yeah. Hey, split that appetizer on the bill. All right, I'm sorry, Troy. Number 1.
Yeah. Chips and salsa, number 1.
Even though you said that
That's why I did 99%.
You almost-
99%
you almost
agreed
agreed,
with
yeah.
you because you didn't have it as your
I
number
almost
one,
put chips and salsa as number 1, but
which it should have been because it is number 1.
I don't think so.
honestly, I think in the number of times that I eat, chips and salsa is what I order, but one restaurant that I go to that's my favorite.
When I cook at
Nope.
my house, which is
Should be on
almost
top
every
3.
night, I will get out my homemade chips and salsa and snack on it while I'm cooking dinner. Doesn't matter what we're eating. We could be having Asian something. I'll snack on
It goes
chips
with
and salsa.
anything.
Yeah.
It goes with anything.
Yeah, I don't think it should be on the list.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
It's not your
Well, you
list.
didn't like any of mine, so suck it.
Miso soup. You don't know anything about appetizers, Troy.
I do know.
You need to do a live local on appetizers, then you'll realize
Some dude
where
over here
you're
with
off.
lettuce wraps and talking about your tofu. I mean, golly.
You weren't thinking deviled eggs, but you would have been like, oh,
I think them as they're not an appetizer for me. They're part of the meal. They're a side.
it's an appetizer at restaurants.
Well, it should be a side.
It's nice.
Where do you
Offer it as a
get
side.
deviled eggs at a restaurant?
Red Rock,
Well, I've never been there.
Charleston's.
Never been there.
I don't know any others.
I don't know that I've ever seen.
Those two.
But I will say,
But he had Diablo breadsticks from a restaurant in Alaska. I was
Yeah.
talking about 2 chains, not the rapper.
Oh,
look who's Mr. Current.
Yeah. Just so I may win at on Trivial Pursuit. That's how I keep up with culture, just so I can win in Trivial Pursuit.
so do you buy the new boxes of the game whenever they update it?
I don't think I've ever bought a Trivial Pursuit game ever. If I'm ever called upon to play a Trivial Pursuit game, I will be a solid teammate. I don't like playing board games.
Your wife is like the queen of board games.
I don't like playing board games.
Oh, okay.
I don't mind Trivial Pursuit or what's that other word game that
Scrabble?
no, not Scrabble, that we talked about. Has a weird name.
Oh, Balderdash.
Balderdash.
Yeah.
I have yet to find it.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Amazon.
Sure, Amazon has it.
I think I may have looked, but I was at the store.
That's your first problem.
Like, how long ago was that podcast? Because we're like, what are we, 90 some odd episodes in? So
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Like-
know either. I lost count it.
No, speaking of, sorry to jump in here, but 100th episode celebration.
Oh yeah,
We're thinking about doing something fun.
oh, what are we gonna do?
we're gonna do it
I
live.
wasn't aware.
We haven't settled this yet, but our thoughts are
Obviously.
Please comment if you'd like us to do this. Is to go live. It may not be at our normal release time, but a more convenient time when people are logged on. Maybe a weekend. I don't know. Record live. Have interaction with our fans. Maybe even a few former guests call in. Have some fun.
I think that'd be great.
A little hard-headed reunion, so to speak.
Possibly. But I don't know. It could be a partay.
I mean,
Sweet.
because that's where that. I mean, that's encroaching almost 2 years in production.
We'll bring some miso soup. Who knows what's gonna happen?
Oh, it's gonna get lit.
Who knows what's
Some
gonna
lettuce
happen?
wraps.
Lettuce wraps,
boy.
Some chips and salsa. Some chips and salsa.
I'm glad that finally got out of my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if the new Cobra Kai will be out by then.
September 9th.
Oh, it will be.
Which is tomorrow.
Yes.
Is it tomorrow?
It's tomorrow.
Holy cow. Yes.
All nighter time. Are you gonna all nighter
Yes,
it
he
again?
is.
100%. Although I do have to be in Rhode Island in a couple of days. So hopefully I'm recovered by then. But
Yeah.
Oh, and Rings of Power, September 1st.
All right.
Check that.
what is
From
So
our
that was last week. We'll have to tune into that.
That's right.
Rings of Power?
That's the Lord of the. That's how they're gonna.
Stop!
That's how they're gonna ruin Lord of the
how
Rings.
they're gonna
for
ruin
us.
Lord of the Rings.
This is where the franchise for
I haven't
becomes
decided-
overrated.
Yeah.
I haven't decided to watch it yet.
Yep.
If I ever get around to it, I'll let you know.
Oh, and I guess before we get into the good word, I mean, we've never even pointed it out, but
The tapestry.
we've upgraded to the tapestry.
It's scary seeing my cartoon face that large.
I was thinking that somebody other than one of us actually bought the tapestry.
No, it was me.
Yeah.
Does it look like me?
It's quite large. I didn't realize that it was going to be that big when I ordered it.
Hey,
but
you know what you need to do? You need to order another one, and then we'll sew them together like it's a flag, and then we'll stick it in the bed of your truck, and you can drive around.
I would do that.
See if they'll print it. See if they'll print it on both sides.
All right. I'm going to go into the good word.
Do it.
Sent is the good word, coming from Luke 9, verses 1 through 5. He called the 12. Jesus is the he in this case. He called the 12 together and gave them power and authority over all demons and to cure diseases. And he sent them out to proclaim the kingdom of God and to heal. And he said to them, take nothing for your journey, no staff, nor bag, nor bread, nor money. And do not have 2 tunics. And whatever house you enter, stay there, and from there depart. And whenever they do not receive you, when you leave that town, shake off the dust from your feet as a testimony against them. So this is when Jesus is sending out his disciples. And I had 2 things that really jump out to me here. 3 if you want to talk about just sent, right? Go. Like I'm telling you to go. But what you're going to do is proclaim the kingdom of God and to heal. And I think a lot of times we miss the boat in Christianity, and we're really good at the proclaiming the name of God. We're not that great at meeting people's needs. So I think that's critical in his sending. We need to meet people's needs, the healing part. There's people that are hurting, that are broken. Take care of that and proclaim the kingdom of God. The second thing is don't take anything with you. Just whatever you have. Let's just go. So we don't need any. That's so funny. The bird clock, by the way. Yeah. Don't bring extra stuff. He's going to provide while you are going on his mission. He's going to take care of you. And that's not saying that you're not going to have conflict or you're not going to have some situations where you're going to be sleeping in somebody's house, because he mentions, you're going to go someplace and they're going to tell you can't stay there. That's fine. Which means sometimes we're going to be doing exactly what he wants us to do, and it's not going to be comfortable. That's fine. That's okay. Just keep going. Don't stop. And
dust your boots off.
if you think about not getting all your stuff together, he's like, go now. Like, what do you have to wait for? Like, just go. Let's go.
Thanks for listening to the Hardheaded Podcast. Don't forget to share this podcast with others to help us get the word out.
Also, if you haven't yet, please rate and review the show. This helps our podcast show up in other people's suggested shows that may or may not have listened to us before.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.